So I'm Anne Harrod from Bright Rebel Coaching, and welcome to Thursday's Coffee with a Coach. Full disclosure, tea for me today. The idea behind Coffee with a Coach is just like a short live with me. You can DM me your questions, you can come and join me, you just have a look, join me later. But the idea is that you get something out of the kind of stuff that I've been talking about on social media lately. And something that I've been talking about for the last, about 6 weeks is about all things resilience. Some of you might know that I actually have a resilience book. In fact, I have it here that you can buy on Amazon. And it's really based on the idea that resilience isn't just about that bounce back from a single traumatic event. It's about your flexibility, your ability to maintain effectiveness. Hello, Graham. And Meg J, who's a clinical psychologist, says that there's 4 pillars of resilience. So the first one was awareness, then thinking, and now we've moved on to social connections. And social connections is actually seen as the biggest predictor of how well people fare after a single traumatic event. And I think that we've seen social connection has been particularly important to people over the last year. I think that we could pretty much all agree that COVID, having to deal with COVID and the restrictions that that's brought, has been a difficult thing for a lot of people. And the people that have found it the most difficult are often people that have had fewer social connections. So by social connections, we don't mean necessarily people that you're seeing every day. We don't necessarily mean people that you're seeing physically face to face, but we mean people that we can actually rely on. People that are able to rely on others, people that allow themselves to use other people's support, generally more resilient than people that really struggle to ask for support, to accept that help. But when we talk about that, we're not just talking about somebody that says, hey, I need help. We're talking about the ability to just reach out and have that kind of connection. So when you've had a bit of a shitty day or a week, that there is somebody at the end of a phone or sending you a postcard or sending you a message or sending you a bunch of flowers, because they're there for you. That knowing that there's somebody there, knowing that there are other people in the world that you're connected to, that's what we mean when we talk about social connection. And I've had this conversation with a lot of my clients over the last 12 months about how a lot of our social connection, obviously when we weren't able to see each other face to face, came into video calls. And actually there's quite a lot of research about how video calls are quite draining because you lose a bit of context, but you're having to be really on because you're watching other people. You'll do exactly what I'm doing now, which is you watch yourself as well. My 8-year-old is particularly bad for that. She'll just be watching what she's doing. And it can be quite draining, particularly if you're doing a lot of Zoom or other video conferencing calls for work as well. So something we've been talking about with my clients is bring back the phone call. Just pick up the phone and have a chat. Because one of the nice things about doing that, I did this with a friend of mine a few weeks ago. She's like, have you got 5 minutes for a chat? I'm like, yeah, I'm just in the middle of doing something. Put my headphones in. We had a chat as I carried on doing other stuff. Exactly like we would have done had she been able to be sat in my kitchen and I'd be like, dude, I just need to carry on making these chocolates. And Graham says, yeah, just a little message helps, I think. A little how are you goes a long way. I think that is so true. When somebody just takes the time to get in touch and say, yeah, just been thinking about you. How's it going? I had the fabulous Amy Nolan, hello Amy if you watch this, sent me a postcard that arrived the other day that was just like a lovely little thing to arrive through the mailbox. I like to do a lot of my social connections through gift giving. Hello, Amanda. She's just joined us. So my language of love is gift giving. If you don't know what your language of love is, I would recommend just Google love languages and have a look at that. Mine is definitely gift giving. That's one of the ways that I make a social connection. So I like to send people stuff when I'm thinking about them. It's kind of my way of saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. Other people, prefer the messages, prefer somebody like Graham was just saying about checking in, saying that hi, how's it going? And I think however our method of connection is, and do appreciate that your method of connection might not be what someone else fully appreciates. But just having those moments of social connection so that you've got people that you know that you can rely on, and it's not necessarily like your first tier connections. So if you've got family that you live with, or you've got people that you're really super close to, those people are very, very important. But think about kind of like your broader circle. Because something I remember reading, probably 20 years ago now, was like sometimes you need different tiers of people for different things. So if you're going through a really hard time, you might rely on one or two people to put you through that really hard bit. But when you're like, I'm moving on, it's been hard, but I just want to go and like have a night out. You guys in the UK are beginning to relax restrictions again now, so this might be a thing that you're able to do. The people that you choose for that, I don't want to think about these difficult things, I just want to go and have fun, might not be the same people that you've been on the phone with crying or whatever, because you need people in different ways, and you use that connection in different ways. So reaching out, social connection, super important for your resilience, super important for people to feel like you're there for them, not just that you go to them when you need something as well. So I'm going to keep this really short, by the way, because I had my COVID injection yesterday. Last night I was like, I feel pretty good. And then I went to bed, had the worst night's sleep ever. Just fever and really, really restless. And I woke up feeling like my body had just been put through a mangle. So I'm feeling okay again now, but I'm just really tired. So I'm going to keep this fairly brief today. So my thing to you is, did I just say that was because I'd had my COVID vaccination? I don't know if I said that. So for those of you that saw yesterday, I had my COVID vaccination. That was my side effects. So felt fine up until bedtime, rubbish night's sleep, felt pretty rubbish until about 2:00, and then feel fine again. So that's not a lot of significant side effects there. So Graham says, yes, I did say that. Cool. Awesome. So the thing that I want to leave you with today is really think about, in terms of your social connections, are you keeping those connections up? It's been a rough year, hasn't it? I keep saying year. It's been over that now. Coming up to 18 months, I guess, more or less. And there'll be people that have just slipped by the wayside a little bit. Just think about who you can reach out to today. Who is going to really appreciate that call or text, or popping a postcard in the post. Everybody loves to get post. Nobody says, oh, I've just got something through the post, that's rubbish. Everybody's delighted to get stuff through the post. So think about how you can connect with someone today, which will enhance your resilience and it will enhance their resilience too. So it's a win-win. Let me know if there's anything you want me to cover in any of these sessions. Next week, we're going to be talking about fitness, because that is the fourth and final pillar of resilience. So let me know if you've got any particular fitness kind of questions that you'd like me to answer, or tips and techniques around something in particular. That is all for me today. It is great to see those of you that join me live. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.